So just remember, nothing tastes as good as healthy and happy feels. I can't even remember the last time I stepped on a scale because when I put my clothes on, when I look in the mirror, I just love what I see and who I am today. If you want to look good and you want to love the way you look, even during the process of your transformation, you've got to focus on how you feel first. Trust me, we've had it backwards all along. We've seen it plastered across all of the women's magazines. Look good, feel good. In reality, it's feel good, look good. So today I'm going to talk with you guys all about how you can finally find food freedom and, in turn, body confidence, loving the skin you're in. Even if you might not be exactly where you want to be. I've had 3 kids. My body doesn't look quite the same as it did. I'm still exercising and eating healthy in hopes to reach a certain goal. I feel like I can speak so well to this because I came from this place where I had genetics in my favor and metabolism in my favor, and I felt like I don't have a care in the world. I could eat whatever I want. I'll never gain weight. Lucky me. And college hit, and I gained even more than the freshman 15 to the point where what I saw in the mirror was not me. I did not feel good, and I certainly didn't feel like I looked good either. And experiencing so many disheartening symptoms that led me down a path of health and healing, ultimately to a whole food plant-based diet. But along the way, it was not without its hiccups. I then went to a place of under-eating and overtraining, trying to detox my body. I became so obsessed with this idea of detoxifying and eating a bunch of fiber to keep my digestion flowing, and I ended up feeling weak and lethargic and not good when I looked in the mirror. Still, after that, I started to stumble upon this happy medium, this food freedom and even fitness freedom. I enjoy my daily workouts. Right around the time when I started having children, and now 3 kids later, I love what I eat, I feel amazing, and best part is I have body confidence. When I look in the mirror, I love who I am and what I see. This is more than just surface level. This is down to my core. I truly love who I am. So today I'm going to talk about how this way of eating and living helped to free me up from the chains, from this feeling of deprivation, restriction, to a place of not only feeling physically better, but emotionally better, and ultimately achieving body confidence. First and foremost, there are 3 metrics that we need to do away with. Not completely, but we just need to loosen the grip. Those 3 things are calorie count, grams of protein, and the weight on the scale. The most beautiful thing about a whole foods plant-based diet is that you're able to feel nourished rather than deprived. You're able to fill your plate and feel completely satiated without feeling bogged down or foggy and without gaining weight. Here is the secret. Whole foods are rich in fiber and water, making them higher volume foods, but also lower calorie foods. Our stomach is a muscle, and if you were to look at a tablespoon of olive oil versus an entire banana, they have the same caloric value, but a different density. Oil is going to sit in the bottom of your tummy and give you lots of calories without making you feel physically full or nourished and satiated, whereas eating something like a banana or a leafy green salad, you're going to feel physically full. Your stomach is a muscle and it can expand and contract. And when you're eating these high volume foods, your stomach feels full and it sends a signal to your brain, hey, you can stop eating now, I've gotten what I need. And adding another layer on top of that, these foods are extremely nutrient rich. They're rich in vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, antioxidants, the things that our cells thrive on, and more importantly, our gut microbiome thrives on. There are actually more of those guys than there are cells in our entire body. So when you're feeding those good guys, the probiotics, with this fiber-rich prebiotic material, they feed on it, they proliferate, it sends signals to your brain. I'm craving more of that as opposed to craving the old foods that weren't serving you. You're getting more nourished, you're not gaining weight because these foods are lower in calories, rich in nutrition, and they're helping your gut microbiome, which is best friends with your brain and the decisions that you're making on a daily basis that can either help you or hinder you, satisfy you or sabotage you. If you want to look good and you want to love the way you look, even during the process of your transformation, you've got to focus on how you feel first. Trust me, I can eat the foods that I used to eat, just in different forms that have been upgraded, that love me back and feel amazing, and consequently look amazing in return. I actually feel so spoiled in the mornings getting to eat my green smoothie bowl that literally tastes like candy. It is so good and all from nature. I can eat 3-4 muffins or brownies that I've made homemade from scratch without the guilt. I can enjoy large salads that don't just taste like a bland, boring, gross pile of yard work. They're so satisfying. And there are so many comfort foods and restaurant style foods that we have learned how to make very easily and effortlessly at home just by adding a few spices to our spice cabinet and omitting the oil, using seasonings and spices in their place to make things taste just as good, if not better. When we're out and about, we honestly prefer to come home for dinner and our own nice cream as opposed to going to a restaurant, spending more money, not feeling great. That is honestly why we took it upon ourselves to write our first cookbook, the Happy Healthy Plant-Based Cookbook. Our book is currently 45% off on Amazon. That's why we created the EatMoveRest Club, our membership, which contains our meal planner and recipe app, to be able to provide these as a resource for everybody else out there who wants to find this food freedom and body confidence as well. So if you guys are interested in checking those out, they're linked below in the description. So let's talk about what went through my mind and what's probably going through your mind if you are looking to lose weight, recomp your body, maybe build more muscle and lose more fat, feel better when you look in the mirror, love the way your clothes fit when you try them on. That was me, and the first two places we look are food and or fitness. For me, it was the overtraining coupled with the under-eating and binging on weekends only to try and undo all of the stress and strain throughout the week. So I think the one that's the most neglected but the most important, and there's a simple solution, is rest. We forget about rest, and this channel is Eat, Move, Rest. So let me just tell you why rest is the most important of the three. It's the foundation. If you're working harder and harder and harder in the gym because you're not seeing results, or because you know you're overeating so you continue to work harder in the gym, you're going to sleep and you're not getting adequate hours or not quality sleep. Maybe your cortisol is high, your stress is high during the day. All of these are taking away from your quality rest. Rest is the time when your muscles build, when they grow, when they repair, when your cells rejuvenate. And so if you're not getting that quality rest and quality sleep, at least 6 to 8 hours a night, then you're not going to see results. And when it comes to food, if you're not getting enough sleep, those hunger hormones, leptin and ghrelin, are going to increase, and it's going to make it more difficult to say no to temptations, to the unhealthy foods, and it's going to lead to overeating. On top of that, when you're not sleeping well, your mood and emotional state suffers as well, which can lead to that emotional eating. A lot of this behavior leads you down the road of food addiction, which can be very difficult to break because it's something we need to consume multiple times a day just to survive. But I want to take you guys from that survive mode to thrive mode. I'm literally eating about 3,000 calories per day, and before, on my diet of lean cuisine and fiber one and a very calorically restricted diet, I was eating about 1,500 calories a day. This was when I started to get, quote, healthy, and I was the same weight then that I am now, but my body looks extremely different and I feel so much better. I have food freedom because I don't have to count calories meticulously to stay under a certain threshold to get my desired result. Instead, I'm able to literally just go about my day eating an abundance of fruit. Yes, fruit, high in sugar fruit, without spiking my blood sugar, without gaining weight. My digestion is dialed in. I'm no longer counting grams of fiber. I'm not worried about having to eat eggs and chicken and fish and guzzling milk and whey protein just to keep my protein levels in check. And I have a better physique and I feel more emotionally stable. Everything just got exponentially better when I decided to go whole foods plant-based. So the fruit thing always tripped me up in the beginning because when I was eating a clean but animal-based diet, I was very fearful of fruit because society had trained me to believe that eating more than a certain amount of servings would cause me to gain weight, it would spike my blood sugar, it would rot my teeth. All of these things were so far from the truth, but at the time I would literally eat a handful of strawberries or a banana and crave sweet things for the rest of the day, but I wouldn't allow myself to eat more fruit. But at the end of the day, I would self-sabotage because I had candy and sweet things hidden all over the place in my car glove box, in my bedroom, in the kitchen cabinets and drawers. There were so many sweets and treats that were not making me feel good. That's why the first thing I had to do was detoxify my body from all of the refined sugars. So in the plant-based world, we talk a lot about SOS. The reason why we become so addicted to fast food, restaurant food, processed and packaged food is because they are SOS laden. And it's actually funny that it's SOS, it's salt, oil, and sugar. So these three offenders are going to wreak havoc on your body. They're going to cause you to be reliant on them because your gut microbiome is going to suffer. It's going to send signals to your brain, I want more French fries, because that's the type of gut flora you're populating by feeding them more of the unhealthy foods. You've got to continue to focus on that micro level, starving out the bad guys and nourishing the good guys until you no longer feel those cravings or pangs anymore. So that is why within our membership, I created the 14-day Sugar Detox Program. Every single day there is a video to walk you through and educate you, motivate you, and inspire you on some aspect of sugar and your relationship with it. There's a mini homework assignment every day, and there's a 14-day meal plan as well. So be sure to check it out. It's part of our 75% off membership linked below. Food freedom feels so good because I'm no longer thinking about my next meal and where it's going to come from, what it's going to be. Is it going to be healthy or not? I don't know because I have no control. I feel completely in control, but in a loose grip kind of way. I no longer feel afraid or nervous about going out on an adventure for the weekend or traveling, wondering, am I gonna sabotage myself or not? Because I have total self-trust now. I know how to make the right choices, and that's why everything we've put into the membership is there to help equip you, especially our weekly group Zoom coaching calls where we hold each other accountable, lift each other up, and same for our mini monthly challenges. I can't even remember the last time I stepped on a scale because when I put my clothes on, when I look in the mirror, I just love what I see and who I am today. On top of that, I don't obsess over calories either because I have truly educated myself on caloric density, and on a plant-based diet, you truly don't have to worry unless you're just eating an excess of nuts and seeds and nut butters. You're really gonna be okay. If you're only eating avocado for the entire day, you might need to worry, but truly, if you're eating a varied whole food plant-based diet that's rich in fruits and vegetables, legumes and beans and whole grains, you're going to be getting enough protein, healthy carbohydrates, and a healthy dose of fats, so you won't need to be worried about that calorie count. I do think it's important to be calorie conscious rather than calorie consumed, and so that means educating yourself from a bird's eye view on the caloric density of certain foods, and remind yourself that not all calories are created equally. So when you switch from your processed packaged diet or even your animal-based diet, you will find that things just don't stick the way that they typically would. Fiber moves through you, so foods contain both soluble and insoluble fiber, and they have different roles to play within your body and aiding the absorption of food and the elimination of food. So when you're eating high fiber, rest assured you will be getting what you need on a cellular level, and you'll also be flushing and cleansing and detoxifying your body on a regular, consistent basis, as opposed to having to do some kind of strict, extreme detox protocol that's going to completely wipe you out, and then the detox was basically void. So instead, if you can be consuming these fiber-rich whole plant foods on a regular daily basis, your body's organs of detoxification will simply do what they're designed to do on a regular routine basis, and you won't have to sweat it. Like I said in the beginning, the whole idea here is to feel good from these foods and to make it sustainable, which it most definitely is. I've been doing this for 10 years now. I never feel deprived. I almost never feel tempted to eat processed or fast or packaged foods because I love everything that we've been able to create right here in our own kitchen. The best part is I no longer suffer from the social anxiety or the brain fog I used to have because I've always been this kind of shy, quiet, reserved person. And now I feel the exact opposite. I'm excited to go out, to dress up, to shake hands and meet new people. I feel energized and I feel this sense of levity and lightness and clarity that is just unbeatable. Think about it. Vacations, weddings, birthday parties. How many times have you looked so forward to these events only to show up, overindulge in food and drink, and wake up feeling awful the next day? Why would we ever feel like we need to self-sabotage on some of the most important life moments? I feel like if you're going to indulge or treat yourself or have a cheat day, maybe do that when you're vegging out at home. Even then, I feel like it just isn't worth it because we don't know how many days we have on this earth. And so I always remind myself with every bite, with every choice, is this helping me or is this hindering me? And it makes the answer very clear. So the number one thing you can do is add before you subtract. Start to build your refrigerator and your pantry out with more whole, fresh fruits, veggies, beans, grains, nuts, seeds, legumes. Once you've begun to add more in, it will begin to naturally crowd out the bad. And then I would say from there, jump into our 14-day Sugar Detox Program. Check out all of the recipes in our app with the new foods you've stocked your refrigerator with. Check out our cookbook. We have so many resources, you guys. So just remember, nothing tastes as good as healthy and happy feels. Next time you look in the mirror, just remind yourself the equation is not look good, feel good. It's feel good, look good. If you want that body confidence, you've got to feed your body and your mind and your soul with nourishment so that you can thrive and glow from the inside out. Remember, this is not about working harder, it's about working smarter. Even on those rest days, you should still be walking and moving as opposed to being completely sedentary the entire day. Focus on doing what moves you. Do some deep breathing, some visualization, meditation, and be her now. You are her, that future you. Focus in on who you want to become and be that person now. That body confidence will naturally come as you're working toward your results. But the first thing you've got to do is start to clean up your food, your fitness, your faith, and your rest. If you want to know how to stock your refrigerator, I should also note I'm linking below our recent summer grocery haul video that has been a very hot topic. So be sure to watch that below. And if you enjoyed this video, please click that subscribe button, join the EatMoveRest fam. Please give this video a thumbs up and leave us some love in the comments below. And I cannot wait to connect with you all in next week's video. Bye guys.